action items, I would like to request the council, if it's okay with you, to switch items 8 and 9, so we can have item number 9 first and then item number 8.
Let's do number 8?
Huh?
Oh, never mind.
Will you be okay with that?
I am perfectly okay with that. I'm sure Ms. Braha is also okay with that because she wants to go drink coffee.
All right, so next item, item number 9, discussion and direction regarding Municipal Code Section 32-8, restaurant on wheels. Mr. Lopez?
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem requested that this item be placed on the agenda, so we have added it to the agenda here. You will note that Municipal Code Section 3-2-8 regarding restaurant on wheels has been provided as backup for information. So tonight, staff is seeking direction from the council as to what the council desires staff to look into as it relates to this item, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. City Manager, absolutely correct that I request this item to be put on the agenda for discussion based on not only a recent contact, but a previous context to where our limitations on restaurants on wheels. What got me, and I know we've had multiple discussions regarding number of restaurants on wheels based on our population from 5,000 to whatever number. I know there's been numbers been floated. What brought this to my attention was a citizen, which brought Ms. Braha's here. I'm going to call her up so she can state through the chair, of course, to say that what she had come forward and what was done. And I was surprised by how our code is not that clear on what it is. I thought that this only pertained to actual cooking of meals on the trucks, but I guess if you just want to serve coffee with wrapped up pastries, it also limits that particular one. So I wanted to have that discussion, and I think the mayor is trying to get some attention there. So, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
With your permission, I'd like to have Ms. Braha come forward and give her experience about what happened. Is that okay with you?
So at this time, I'm going to go out for public comment.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go out for public comment. Let me go out to public comment on the phone first. Is there anybody on the phone in regards to this item? Seeing none, any public comment in the chamber? May come forward.
All right, so I had called and...
Please identify yourself.
Hello, my name is Zareni Barajas, and I'm here in regards to what we're discussing. I had gone into the city hall and requested an application. I identified that I was not going to be serving food. If not, it was just going to be a coffee trailer. And I was told that my application would not be approved right off the bat, which was a little discouraging. But furthermore, I took the application, started doing my research, contacted Merced County, could still talk to my vendors and so forth. And I got a call from Miguel. Very nice, told me all the regulations. I still went onto the site. There was nothing that really stated food versus drinks. Still tried to do my research, and unfortunately still got hit with the possibility of not being able to open or function within city limits of Livingston, which is very disappointing. But my thought is there's no food. According to Merced County, we're not even considered food because we won't be required a hood. We're not cooking anything that is meat related or anything like that. All of our vendors are approved by the city and will be packaged. I will have proper refrigeration within our trailer. So that will limit anything that had to do with the health department, any concerns and so forth. Obviously, pending their approval. So it was very discouraging to know that Livingston just completely shut the opportunity down without having a meeting or a discussion or giving me any leeway as far as what I can do on my end to get any clarifications or a path to move forward. I was just simply told $5,000 per food truck. and we had not met the 15,000 population in Livingston. So if there's any way that we can open up a discussion as to how small businesses can move forward and stay in Livingston versus having to go to Turlock or Merced. They don't need any more business, Livingston does. And I think that's the main reason why I'm advocating to keep it here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and thank you for being here and waiting this long. So I figured the only thing I could do is just try to move it forward up a little bit. This will helps because it also gives you an idea on how council meetings run, right?
They're fine.
Okay. Okay. Is there any other public comment in the chamber in regards to this item? Okay, then I'm gonna bring it back to the dais. Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you, Ms. Warehouse, for your comment. And I thought I knew this, but I was taken back by the restrictions, and I don't see or saw this any different than somebody pushing an ice cream cart down the street. And I'm not saying it's not. It's okay. It's nothing more than that. Or does it matter if it's being pushed by a human being or is motorized? They're basically selling a prepackaged. They're not cooking. There's no hoods. There's not even county health permits required, I don't believe,
Yeah,
There is? There is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, but anyway, I'm not sure how this is different than an ice cream truck or any of them, So, but we need to clarify, and also maybe time has come that we visit that is it 5,000 per resident really still hold true. We have 2 trucks, and I'm sure each of us has been contacted on who knows how many others that want to move forward. So we do need to have that discussion, and this was just to bring it forward. And I'm requesting the council, I'm not sure if this basically a code section, I don't know if it needs to go through other agencies, not I mean planning, but or is it just something that the council can deal with on its own, or does it need to go through other portion of it? I'm not sure. So.
No, this doesn't require planning commission direction. It's something that comes straight to the city council.
Yeah, and then also, I ask that we revisit this issue or visit this issue sooner than later, if it's possible, and also clarify exactly what is restaurant on wheels. No, I mean, I understand, but I always thought, and I know I see that, but I always thought that it's where you take raw ingredients or ingredients and it's cooked and heated and done, or is it just somebody saying, would you like coffee and we have a pastry or an ice cream out of the refrigerator or freezer, are they both the same? I don't know. And that's, I think as time has come that we explore that and clarify a little more.
So, quick question, and maybe I missed it because, I was multitasking. Is your plan to be on a fixed location?
Correct. I already have approval from
Okay.
Bassie's, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. So, I don't mind bringing this back for a formal discussion with more information from staff and consideration. Also, I think, and I'm just thinking out loud, because it might be something that this council needs to consider when that comes up or comes back to us, that if an opportunity opens up before we reach 15,000, like right now, I think we're like 14 1,300 unless we have a lot of babies in, within the next few months, then we can reach 15,000, or I'm just being sarcastic. But also, if that opportunity opens up, or this council is okay with it, I do believe, and then legal can jump in here, it has to be opened up to applicants, and then this council can consider that, right? So that was just what I was thinking right now. Just wanted to share that.
I just quickly went through the ordinance as attached right now. I had read it before the council meeting, but I wanted to kind of get a better understanding of some of the requirements. And this ordinance was last amended in 1994. There's been some significant changes to the legal requirements for itinerant vendors. So I would recommend that this be something that's reviewed by legal and a update prepared for the city to bring it into compliance with current legal requirements.
And that's
So,
sorry, go ahead.
so in addition to that, thank you for coming forward on your item, because it has been a concern. But even under the ordinance, Restaurant on Wheels 3-2-8, we are subject to everything 3-2-4 of this chapter. So anything that came before this specific one pertains to this Restaurant on Wheels. And like everything else in our ordinances and our general plan and our lack of other things, we need an update. So I'm glad that we're having this discussion, because for us as a council, don't want to speak for everybody else, but I'm part of the Hispanic Chamber, and I advocate for small businesses. So congratulations to you for coming forward with your business and wanting to open up a storefront, because that's how we are here, small businesses. It keeps our community going. So congratulations on moving forward with that. We are looking for, and I quote unquote, we are looking for business opportunities. Mr. Moran had said that, unquote, okay? So thank you for that. So additionally, when we want to continue this item, my suggestion would also bring in another agency, the health department, so that they can clarify exactly what types of businesses, because throughout Merced County, there have been shutdowns and just a lot of controversy on street vendors. So if everyone has a clear idea of what types of licenses they need in order to operate, the kind of permits, what kind of business, just like Gopal had stated, what's the difference between an ice cream truck and somebody operating hot foods? There's a big difference when it comes to the health department. And our job here as a council is to make sure that we ensure that health and safety all the way around. So if we had the input from the health department to clarify and give us a better idea, because that is coming down through state on what is allowed by state law for vendors to solicit food, whether it's packaged or cooked. There are different licenses, different permits. So I'm glad this conversation is going on, and open it up for everybody. This is outdated. We do have our 2 taco trucks, and when we're allowed for every 5,000. Our census says nearly 15. So that's putting a limit, the taco trucks that are here, okay, but we need to have some type of a rotating schedule, or that day permit that's permissible in our ordinance, that they could come here, pay this, come through, and we can blow that up on our social media, through recreation, and say, hey, you know what? This such and such vendor is going to be here on this day. Help support these small businesses. So I'm all for getting this all straightened out. But I mean, I know I have a question. I don't want to put, I mean, I'm going to put you on the spot anyways. But who gave you that authority that it was a hard no for you to not go through with your application?
So I just
Can you come to the mic, please?
So I don't have a full direct name, but it just, you go in, I went and asked for the application, and right off the bat, they're like, I don't think it's going to get approved, but you can still apply. I don't know who directly was, but that being the first step to trying to open up a business in Livingston was very discouraging. I don't get discouraged very fast, so that's why I'm here. But again, I think that just knowing right off the bat that that wasn't going to be an option is the part that I had a very big issue with. But we on our end are working with the health department. We hired the right people to do all the stuff for our trailer. So we're very informed as far as like what the permits are, what's considered safe, and like the food handling and stuff, and coming back from a food industry are both of us. We know the permits. We know our main standstill right now is the city of Livingston. So everything else on our end, as far as like with fire department, health department, Merced County, we have all that in the works already. But just, I don't have a direct name, I'm sorry, but.
And then, hi, my name's Jenny Barajas. I do remember the person mentioning that there was a list, so if we were to submit the application, we would be last on that list. So I'm guessing there's other people also wanting to start like a restaurant on wheels, so I wonder if that list is gonna be looked at or how that's gonna work moving on forward.
So if I may request that we get some type of insight on whose authority that went under and that list, because that would be great to know so that we can help them. I mean, coming from the small business advocate, we want to encourage them and give them the resources and be able to provide them how to open up a business and be sustainable, especially in our own hometown. If we got people waiting on a list, we need to help them get there. And that starts with updating this ordinance.
I don't mean to chime in, but I don't think that, again, because I did my research and I went online, there's not a lot of verbiage as far as what it says, you know, what falls into what category. So whoever was giving us information are not really knowledgeable either, which they're not at fault, because I feel like the whole thing itself is just a problem. So I think they don't have the information, which for me and my end, that's totally fine. I get it because they're just working there and it's fine, but the information's not there. So there's a lot of gray area. So I think the easy route is to say, okay, there's gonna be a list. You can be put on the list. You can file your application, but your application might be seen, is what we got out of it. But I think that if for some reason this can come back and we can, you know, Mayor, start the discussion with everybody, this will build the opportunity for so many other small businesses to come and keep the business in Livingston, not go else. Again, if I wanted to go and open it up in Turlock or Merced, and we have all that already, but I don't. I want to stay in Livingston because I've been here my whole entire life. And so if I have to come to 500 other meetings, I totally will. But I think that, again, you know, that's just something that needs to be updated. And hopefully 5 to 10 years from now, we have a Livingston Grub Hub or something where it's not just catered to Livingston, but it's everybody. Livingston's in the heart of California. So we've done our research too on how many cars pass by through the freeway. So having obviously that prime location, which again, I don't want to just throw the bassies out there, but we've had talks of, you know, bringing more mobile trucks, and this is just a stepping stone that we're able to pave out for anybody else that's trying to come and build something here in Livingston and keep it here in Livingston. And then, you know, hopefully long-term, donate back to the Livingston High School, donate to our athletic, you know, groups and stuff. Like, I have kids, so I want them to stay here. So this is just a small little picture of what this conversation can start and roll out, hopefully long-term.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that, and I'm glad that this was your first step coming forward and you wanting to stay in Livingston. Congratulations for that. I really encourage you. I just find it very concerning that your response was a hard no without, like what you said, I'm not trying to make excuses for anybody, but without information, without having that type of information and being told straight out the door, no, you can't do something, and you're pretty persistent. If you want to come to 500 meetings, I think you should run for council if you want to be here. But thank you for that, coming forward and
Thank you.
letting us have a long overdue conversation about the small businesses and storefronts coming to Livingston, because we need them.
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, I'd like to ask staff, what is the timeline or more, I know we're not going to go exactly, what is expectations from the staff to have this before us for the next step?
Mayor Pro Tem, if I could provide a little bit more context, because I think there's some details that the council should be aware of. The first thing is that I think what the individual is referencing is what's classified in the Muni Code as restaurant on wheels. And there's a lot to be desired here. And it really, to the point that the individual made, it makes a reference to restaurants on wheels are subject to Section 3-2-4 of this chapter, with the exception that one for every 5,000 population is allowed at a fixed location upon obtaining a use permit. So right then and there, the city has capped the number of restaurants on wheels to 2 until the city reaches 15,000. So I think the first thing, in terms of whether the council wants to weigh in on a different policy variation on that, is what are the options that the council might consider? Does the council want to consider things such as different types of businesses? The individual mentioned that she does coffee. Right now, I think you've got strictly what we would classify as food in terms of tacos, right? So right now, the current ordinance as it stands limits what we currently have in the city to basically just food as we know it, not coffee, or let's say someone wanted to do desserts, or someone wanted to do other types of truck vending. So the question really is, as I see it, is there probably needs to be some more substance that's added to the restaurant on wheels. In the last 10 years, you've seen a big increase in the number of food trucks. That's probably something that the council may want to weigh in on. So I would recommend that this section, that we bring something back that the council could sink their teeth into with respect to what that food truck section looks like. And then the second thing that Roy brought up, which is I think critically important, is the section related to what most people refer to as sidewalk vending. And I think that's what is also needing to be updated as well, because there's probably some that do sidewalk vending, but there's probably also some, I know the individual mentioned that she has a fixed location, but there's probably some that want to do maybe one location in the north part of town, then the south part, and then the east part. And that really, as Roy pointed out, this ordinance is stuck, 30 years ago. So my recommendation to the council would be, let's explore and bring back some options as it relates to food truck vending, so that the council can see what a modern ordinance looks like for that. And then also, too, that we update the section of the ordinance as it relates to sidewalk vending, and then not the permanent location with respect to a potential food truck. That's largely going to be dependent upon how much time it takes legal to develop kind of a best practice ordinance for the council to look at. So I would defer to Roy on that. But as I'm looking at it, this definitely needs to be modernized to what is happening in today's society and today's cities as it relates to food trucks.
So even with that being said, this also with 3-2-4, like I had said before, it includes not just food, the dry goods, the packaged. It includes clothing, jewelry, groceries. So again, that limits anybody that wants to do any type of vending in our city limits. So yes, indeed, we need to update so that it is congruent with businesses wanting to come in and what's happening with our businesses and how they want to operate and open. So, yes.
Thank you. Without having to repeat that again, first of all, I do want to say thank you for being here. I do appreciate the motivation to be here and to bring this to our attention. Just to learn more about what the process might be and if the process needs to be changed. We are in the process of updating a lot of different things. This is one of them, which I do believe it should, I will support for staff to bring this item or something back to us. And then also I thank you for understanding that our staff are only doing their job and going by what they have before them. And I truly don't believe that they are in any way trying to say no to something, but they up to a certain point, they have to follow what has been approved by this council. Moving forward, then they might be able to follow, and I'm sure they will follow what this council approves moving forward. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And so I would also recommend for staff to come back to and bring something back to this council with an updated ordinance and different options and just more information overall. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
I think that was all 4 council members that were here. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.